Welcome to the Healing Inside channel. Tonight, we will journey through the most therapeutic facts about emotional intelligence. Over the next minutes, we'll explore 100 calming insights about how we understand, process, and manage our emotions. Let these facts wash over you. There's no need to remember everything. Just allow yourself to absorb what resonates. Get comfortable, and let's begin. Emotional intelligence is not fixed at birth. It can be developed throughout your entire life. Unlike IQ, which remains relatively stable, your ability to understand and manage emotions grows with practice and intention. Every interaction, every moment of self-reflection is an opportunity to strengthen this skill. Research shows that people in their 60s and 70s often have higher emotional intelligence than they did in their 20s. This means that right now, wherever you are in life, you have the capacity to grow. You are not stuck, you are evolving. People with high emotional intelligence experience the same difficult emotions as everyone else. They've just learned to respond differently. It's a common misconception that emotionally intelligent people don't feel anxiety, anger, or sadness. They do. The difference is in the pause between feeling and reacting. They've practiced creating space between stimulus and response. When anger rises, they notice it. When anxiety appears, they acknowledge it. This awareness doesn't eliminate the emotion, but it prevents the emotion from controlling their choices. You can develop this same skill one moment at a time. Naming your emotions reduces their intensity, a phenomenon scientists call affect labeling. When you identify what you're feeling with specific words, the amygdala, your brain's emotional alarm system, actually calms down. Instead of saying, "I feel bad," try, "I feel disappointed and a little anxious about tomorrow." This simple act of naming creates distance and clarity. Brain imaging studies show that putting feelings into words reduces activity in the emotional centers of the brain. Your vocabulary for emotions is actually a tool for emotional regulation. The more precise you can be, the more control you gain. Maintaining empathy is not about fixing someone's problems. It's about being present with their emotions. Many people struggle with empathy because they think it requires having solutions. It doesn't. Empathy is the ability to sit with someone in their experience, to say, "I see you, I hear you," without rushing to make it better. Sometimes the most healing thing you can offer is your presence. Research shows that feeling heard and understood activates the same reward centers in the brain as receiving help. Your presence is powerful. Your listening is a gift. Self-awareness begins with noticing your body's signals before your mind creates a story. Your body registers emotions before your conscious mind does. A tightness in your chest might signal anxiety. A warmth in your face might indicate anger or embarrassment. By paying attention to these physical sensations, you can catch emotions early before they build into overwhelming reactions. This is called interoception, the sense of your body's internal state. The more you practice tuning in to these subtle signals, the more choice you have in how you respond. Your body is always communicating with you. Maintaining the same voice and pacing for all text I will provide. Emotional intelligence includes knowing when to feel your emotions and when to temporarily set them aside. There's a time for processing feelings deeply, and there's a time for functional compartmentalization. If you're in the middle of a crisis, you might need to set emotions aside temporarily to handle the situation. Later, you can return to process them. This isn't suppression or denial, it's strategic emotional management. Studies show that people who can flexibly shift between experiencing and regulating emotions have better mental health outcomes. you can honor your emotions and still function effectively in the world. People with high emotional intelligence ask themselves, what is this emotion trying to tell me, rather than, how do I make this go away? Maintain the same voice all through. Emotions are messengers carrying important information. Anxiety might be telling you that something matters deeply to you. Anger might be signaling a boundary violation. Sadness might be honoring a loss. When you approach emotions with curiosity instead of judgment, they become guides rather than enemies. Research in emotion science shows that accepting emotions rather than fighting them leads to better emotional outcomes. Your feelings are trying to help you, even when they're uncomfortable. The ability to delay gratification is a cornerstone of emotional intelligence, and it can be strengthened like a muscle. The famous marshmallow test showed that children who could wait for a larger reward had better life outcomes decades later. But here's what's therapeutic. This ability isn't fixed. Adults can develop better impulse control through practice. Each time you pause before reacting, resist a tempting distraction, or choose long-term benefit over short-term pleasure, you're strengthening this capacity. Small choices compound into lasting change. Every moment of restraint is practice. Emotionally intelligent people understand that all emotions are valid, but not all behaviors are appropriate. Maintain the same voice all through. You have every right to feel angry. You don't have the right to harm others. You're allowed to feel jealous. You're not entitled to controlling behavior. This distinction is liberating. It means you can accept your full emotional experience without guilt, while still taking responsibility for your actions. Feelings are not choices, but responses are. Studies show that this separation between emotion and action reduces both anxiety and shame. You can feel everything and still choose wisely. Social awareness, a key component of emotional intelligence, starts with the simple act of truly paying attention to others. In our distracted world, genuine attention has become rare and precious. When you put away your phone, make eye contact, and fully focus on someone, you're practicing social awareness. You begin to notice micro-expressions, changes in tone, what's being said and what's being left unsaid. Research shows that people who regularly practice undivided attention become significantly better at reading others' emotions. Your attention is one of the greatest gifts you can give. Emotional intelligence involves recognizing that your interpretation of events shapes your emotional response more than the events themselves. Two people can experience the same situation and have completely different emotional reactions based on their interpretations. Someone cuts you off in traffic. You might think, "What a jerk," and feel angry. Or maybe they're rushing to an emergency and feel concern. The event is neutral. Your story creates the emotion. Cognitive behavioral research has proven this principle thousands of times. When you recognize this, you gain tremendous power. You can question your interpretations and choose more helpful ones. Self-compassion. Treating yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a good friend is a learnable skill that enhances emotional intelligence. Many people are harsh critics of themselves, but gentle supporters of others. Imagine speaking to yourself the way you'd speak to someone you love who's struggling. Research by Kristen Neff shows that self-compassion doesn't make you weak or unmotivated. Instead, it provides a secure base from which to grow. People with self-compassion actually try harder and persist longer because they're not paralyzed by shame when they fail. You deserve your own kindness. Emotionally intelligent people know that apologizing effectively requires acknowledging impact, not just intent. "I'm sorry you felt that way" isn't an apology. "I'm sorry my words hurt you, even though that wasn't my intention" is. The difference matters. When you acknowledge how your actions affected someone, regardless of your intentions, you validate their experience. Studies show that this kind of apology repairs relationships far more effectively. It requires humility to prioritize someone else's pain over defending yourself. This humility is strength. Your emotional intelligence increases when you develop a broader vocabulary for emotions beyond good, bad, happy, and sad. The difference between feeling anxious, overwhelmed, restless, and worried matters. Each word points to a slightly different experience and might require a different response. Psychologists call this emotional granularity. Research shows that people with higher emotional granularity have better mental health, make better decisions under stress, and regulate emotions more effectively. Expanding your emotional vocabulary is like upgrading from black and white vision to color vision. The world becomes richer and more navigable. Healthy boundaries are an expression of emotional intelligence, not selfishness. Saying no, limiting availability, protecting your energy, these aren't acts of cruelty. They're acts of self-awareness and honesty. When you understand your limits and communicate them clearly, you prevent resentment from building. You show up more fully in the commitments you do make. Research in relationship psychology consistently shows that people with clear boundaries have healthier, more satisfying relationships. Your boundaries benefit everyone, including those around you. Emotional contagion is real. You literally catch emotions from the people around you. Mirror neurons in your brain automatically simulate the emotions you observe in others. This is why a friend's anxiety can make you feel anxious, or why laughter is contagious. Emotionally intelligent people recognize this phenomenon and make conscious choices about their emotional environment. This doesn't mean avoiding anyone who's struggling. It means being intentional about who you spend time with and practicing techniques to maintain your emotional equilibrium. You can be supportive without being absorbed. The ability to sit with uncomfortable emotions without immediately trying to fix or escape them is called distress tolerance, and it's a superpower. Many problems in life come from our desperate attempts to avoid discomfort. Substance abuse, compulsive behaviors, lashing out at others. When you can tolerate discomfort, even for just a few extra moments, you create space for wiser choices. Research shows that distress tolerance can be built through gradual exposure. Start small. Sit with mild frustration for 30 extra seconds. Let minor disappointment wash over you without distraction. These moments are training. Emotional intelligence includes recognizing that other people's emotions and behaviors are usually about them, not about you. When someone is irritable or dismissive, your first thought might be, "What did I do wrong?" But most human behavior is driven by internal states, their stress, their insecurities, their past experiences. This doesn't mean you never contribute to problems, but it means you don't have to personalize everything. Research in attribution theory shows that this shift in perspective reduces unnecessary anxiety and conflict. You can hold yourself accountable without taking on responsibility for everyone else's emotional state. Gratitude practices don't just make you happier, they literally change your brain's default settings over time. When you regularly direct attention to what you appreciate, you strengthen neural pathways associated with positive emotion and weaken those associated with threat detection. Studies using brain imaging show that consistent gratitude practice increases activity in the prefrontal cortex and reduces activity in the amygdala. This isn't about denying difficulties, it's about training your brain to notice the full picture, including what's going right. Small daily practice creates lasting change. People with high emotional intelligence understand the difference between venting and rumination. Venting, expressing your feelings to process them and gain perspective, can be healthy. Rumination, obsessively replaying negative thoughts without resolution, is harmful. The key difference is movement. Venting helps you move through an emotion, while rumination keeps you stuck. Research shows that effective venting is time-limited, includes problem-solving, and leads to insight or release. If you're talking about the same problem in the same way repeatedly without any shift, it's become rumination. You deserve to move forward. Your emotional baseline is influenced by basic physical needs: sleep, nutrition, movement, and connection. Before assuming you have a serious emotional problem, check. Have you slept enough? Eaten recently? Moved your body? Connected with someone you care about? These fundamental needs profoundly affect emotional regulation. Studies show that even mild sleep deprivation significantly impairs emotional intelligence. When you're depleted physically, everything feels harder. Sometimes the most emotionally intelligent response is to rest, eat, or take a walk. Basic self-care is emotional care. Emotional intelligence involves understanding that closure often comes from within, not from others. You might never get that apology. They might never acknowledge what happened. The relationship might end without explanation. Emotionally intelligent people learn to create their own closure through acceptance, meaning-making, and moving forward. Research in grief and trauma shows that waiting for external closure can keep you stuck indefinitely. Your healing doesn't depend on someone else's actions. You can write the ending to your own chapter. The ability to identify your personal triggers is a crucial skill in emotional intelligence. A trigger is something that provokes a disproportionately strong emotional reaction based on past experiences. Maybe criticism sends you into shame spirals. Maybe being ignored sparks intense anger. When you can identify your triggers, you can prepare for them, communicate about them, and choose how to respond. You might think, I'm feeling so angry right now, and I know being ignored is a trigger for me. Let me take a breath before responding. This awareness is transformative. Emotionally intelligent people know that sustainable relationships require repair, not perfection. All relationships involve ruptures, misunderstandings, hurt feelings, mistakes. What matters is the repair. Research by John Gottman shows that successful relationships aren't characterized by absence of conflict, but by effective repair after conflict. This takes the pressure off being perfect. You will mess up. They will mess up. The question is, can you both acknowledge harm, take responsibility, and reconnect? Repair is where trust deepens. Your inner dialogue, the way you talk to yourself, shapes your emotional reality more than almost anything else. If you constantly tell yourself, I'm terrible at this, or nobody likes me, your brain accepts these statements as fact and generates corresponding emotions. Cognitive research shows that you can change your emotional patterns by changing your self-talk. This isn't about forced positivity, it's about accuracy and compassion. Instead of, I'm a failure, try, I'm struggling with this right now, and that's okay. The shift is subtle but powerful. Emotional intelligence includes knowing when to trust your gut and when to slow down and think. Your intuition, that gut feeling, is real. It's your brain rapidly processing patterns based on past experience. Sometimes it's brilliantly accurate. Sometimes it's biased or based on outdated information. Emotionally intelligent people learn to recognize the difference. In familiar situations where you have expertise, trust your gut. In new or high-stakes situations, slow down and analyze. Research shows that this flexible approach leads to better outcomes than always or never trusting intuition. The practice of mindfulness, simply noticing the present moment without judgment, measurably increases emotional intelligence. Study after study shows that regular mindfulness practice improves emotional regulation, empathy, and self-awareness. You don't need to meditate for hours. Even a few minutes daily of noticing your breath, your body, or your surroundings builds the neural pathways that support emotional intelligence. Mindfulness teaches you to observe your thoughts and feelings rather than being swept away by them. This observing self is always available to you. Emotionally intelligent people understand that feelings are temporary, even when they're intense. This too shall pass isn't just a platitude, it's neuroscience. Emotions, even strong ones, typically peak and subside within minutes to hours when you don't fuel them with rumination. Brain imaging shows that emotional responses naturally decrease over time through a process called habituation. When you're in the midst of intense emotion, remembering its temporary nature can be profoundly comforting. You won't always feel this way. The feeling will change. The ability to give and receive feedback without defensiveness is a hallmark of emotional intelligence. Feedback activates threat responses in the brain. Your ego wants to protect itself. But emotionally intelligent people have learned to pause, listen, and consider whether there's truth in the feedback, even if it's delivered imperfectly. They can separate their worth as a person from their performance in a situation. Research shows this openness to feedback is one of the strongest predictors of personal growth and success. You are not your mistakes. Emotional intelligence involves accepting that you cannot control how others feel about you. You can be kind, honest, and thoughtful, and someone still might not like you. You can make mistakes, apologize, and improve, and someone still might not forgive you. This is one of life's hardest lessons. You're responsible for your actions and intentions, not for others' reactions. Research in social psychology shows that this acceptance dramatically reduces anxiety and people-pleasing behaviors. You can release the exhausting burden of trying to control the uncontrollable. The ability to feel joy for others' successes, even when you're struggling, is an advanced emotional skill. Envy is natural, but emotionally intelligent people can hold two truths: I'm happy for them, and I wish I had that too. They don't let envy poison their relationships or self-worth. Studies show that actively practicing appreciation for others' good fortune actually increases your own sense of well-being. It's called mudita in Buddhist psychology, sympathetic joy. When you celebrate with others, you expand your own capacity for joy. Your emotional intelligence grows when you learn to differentiate between reacting and responding. Reacting is automatic, impulsive, driven by the emotional brain. Responding is intentional, considered, incorporating the thinking brain. The gap between the two might be just a few seconds or breaths. In that gap lives your power to choose. Research shows that simple techniques like counting to 10, taking 3 deep breaths, or saying, "Let me think about that," create enough space for the prefrontal cortex to engage. Those few seconds can change everything. Emotionally intelligent people know that vulnerability is not weakness, it's the birthplace of connection and growth. When you share your struggles, fears, and imperfections, you give others permission to do the same. Research by Brené Brown shows that vulnerability is essential for authentic relationships, creativity, and change. This doesn't mean oversharing with everyone. It means being honest about your humanity with safe people. It means admitting, "I don't know," or "I need help." Every act of appropriate vulnerability is an act of courage. The ability to regulate emotions is partly genetic, but environment and practice matter far more than genes. You might have inherited a tendency toward anxiety or intense emotions, but you're not doomed by your biology. Neuroplasticity research shows that the brain remains changeable throughout life. The skills of emotional intelligence create new neural pathways that can override genetic predispositions. Every time you practice a new response, you're literally rewiring your brain. Your genes influence your starting point, not your destination. Emotional intelligence includes understanding that some relationships are meant to be seasonal, not permanent. People grow in different directions. Needs change. What served you in one chapter might not serve you in the next. Emotionally intelligent people can appreciate what a relationship was while accepting that it's time to let go. They can hold gratitude and grief simultaneously. Research shows that the ability to end relationships that no longer work is associated with better mental health. Letting go isn't failure. Sometimes it's wisdom. The stories you tell about your past shape your present emotional experience. Two people can experience the same difficult childhood and tell very different stories about it. One narrative might be, "I was damaged," while another is, "I learned resilience." Neither erases what happened, but they create different emotional realities. Research in narrative therapy shows that you can intentionally reshape your life story in more empowering ways. This isn't about denying pain, it's about authoring meaning. You get to write the interpretation. Emotionally intelligent people understand that forgiveness is primarily for the forgiver, not the forgiven. Forgiveness doesn't mean what happened was okay. It doesn't require reconciliation or even communication with the person who harmed you. It means releasing the burden of carrying resentment. Research shows that people who forgive have lower blood pressure, less depression, and better overall health. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. You can put down that weight. The ability to tolerate ambiguity and uncertainty is a crucial component of emotional intelligence. Life rarely offers clear answers or guaranteed outcomes. Emotionally intelligent people can hold questions without rushing to certainty. They can act despite uncertainty. They can say, "I don't know," and that's okay. Research shows that intolerance of uncertainty is at the core of most anxiety disorders. The practice of sitting with unknowing, even for a few extra moments, builds tremendous emotional strength. Not knowing is part of being human. Your capacity for self-regulation is limited. It depletes throughout the day and needs replenishment. This is called ego depletion. It's why you're more likely to snap at someone in the evening after a long day of controlling your responses. Emotionally intelligent people recognize this and plan accordingly. They protect their emotional energy for what matters most. They build in recovery time. Studies show that rest, pleasant activities, and glucose can restore self-regulation capacity. You're not weak because it's harder at the end of the day. You're human. Emotional intelligence involves recognizing that your perspective is just one among many valid perspectives. Your experience is real and valid. So is theirs. You can both be right about your own experience and wrong about absolute truth. This paradox, this ability to hold multiple perspectives, is called cognitive flexibility. Research shows it's essential for conflict resolution, creativity, and growth. When you can say, "I see why you experienced it that way, even though I experienced it differently," you open the door to understanding. Truth is often more complex than it first appears. The practice of emotional labeling, putting feelings into words, is so powerful that it's used to treat everything from anxiety to chronic pain. When you articulate what you're feeling, whether through talking, writing, or even thinking in words, you activate the prefrontal cortex and reduce activation in the amygdala. This is why journaling helps, why talking to a therapist helps, why even saying, "I notice I'm feeling anxious right now," helps. Brain imaging studies show measurable changes happening in real time. Your words have healing power. Emotionally intelligent people understand that comparison is the thief of joy, and they practice redirecting that impulse. In the age of social media, comparison is everywhere. Someone is always doing better, achieving more, looking happier. Emotionally intelligent people notice the comparison impulse and gently redirect, "That's their journey, this is mine." They focus on their own growth rather than relative position. Research shows that people who regularly practice gratitude and self-comparison, comparing yourself to your past self, have significantly higher life satisfaction. Your only meaningful competition is who you were yesterday. The ability to apologize sincerely requires the emotional strength to feel and tolerate shame.
A genuine apology means acknowledging you did something wrong, which activates shame. Many people avoid apologizing because they can't tolerate that feeling. They defend, minimize, or blame instead. Emotionally intelligent people have learned that shame, while uncomfortable, isn't dangerous. They can feel it, express genuine remorse, and move forward. Research shows that people who can apologize effectively have better relationships and higher self-esteem. Facing shame with honesty is liberating. Your emotional intelligence increases when you understand that every behavior makes sense in context. Even behaviors that seem irrational or self-destructive made sense given the person's history, beliefs, and circumstances at that moment. This doesn't excuse harm, but it creates understanding. When you can look at your own past behaviors with this lens, shame decreases and learning increases. When you apply it to others, judgment softens into compassion. Research in trauma-informed care shows this principle is transformative. Everyone is doing the best they can with the resources they have. A genuine apology means acknowledging you did something wrong, which activates shame. Many people avoid apologizing because they can't tolerate that feeling. They defend, minimize, or blame instead. Emotionally intelligent people have learned that shame, while uncomfortable, isn't dangerous. They can feel it, express genuine remorse, and move forward. Research shows that people who can apologize effectively have better relationships and higher self-esteem. Facing shame with honesty is liberating. Your emotional intelligence increases when you understand that every behavior makes sense in context. Even behaviors that seem irrational or self-destructive made sense given the person's history, beliefs, and circumstances at that moment. This doesn't excuse harm, but it creates understanding. When you can look at your own past behaviors with this lens, shame decreases and learning increases. When you apply it to others, judgment softens into compassion. Research in trauma-informed care shows this principle is transformative. Everyone is doing the best they can with the resources they have.
Emotional intelligence involves knowing when to persist and when to pivot. Grit and resilience are valuable, but so is knowing when something isn't working. Emotionally intelligent people can distinguish between temporary discomfort that precedes growth and persistent pain that signals misalignment. They can quit without labeling themselves as quitters. They can change course without seeing it as failure. Research shows that psychological flexibility, the ability to adjust strategies based on feedback, predicts success better than rigid persistence. Sometimes wisdom means knowing when to stop. The ability to find meaning in suffering is one of the most powerful emotional skills you can develop. This doesn't mean suffering is good or that you should seek it out. It means that when suffering is inevitable, finding meaning in it transforms the experience. Viktor Frankl's research with Holocaust survivors showed that those who found meaning survived at higher rates. You might find meaning through growth, through helping others, through spiritual understanding, or through other paths. The suffering becomes a chapter in your story rather than the entire story. Emotionally intelligent people understand that emotions are data, not directives. Fear tells you something might be dangerous, but it doesn't tell you whether to proceed or retreat. Anger tells you a boundary might have been crossed, but it doesn't tell you how to respond. Emotions provide valuable information, but you get to decide what to do with that information. Research in decision-making shows that people who consult their emotions without being ruled by them make better choices. Your feelings inform you, they don't control you. The practice of self-reflection, regularly examining your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, is essential for emotional growth. Without reflection, you repeat the same patterns indefinitely. With reflection, you can identify what's working and what isn't, what aligns with your values and what doesn't. This doesn't require hours of meditation. Even 5 minutes of quiet thought can create awareness. Studies show that people who engage in regular self-reflection have better emotional regulation and life satisfaction. You can't change what you don't notice. Emotional intelligence includes understanding that your worth is inherent, not earned. Your value as a human being doesn't depend on your achievements, appearance, or other people's opinions. This is perhaps the hardest lesson to internalize because society constantly tells you otherwise. But emotionally intelligent people work to separate their worth from their performance. Research shows that this separation, called unconditional self-worth, protects against depression and anxiety. You are enough simply because you exist. The ability to express needs clearly and directly is a cornerstone of emotional intelligence. Many people hint, expect others to read their minds, or suffer in silence because asking directly feels too vulnerable. But research in communication shows that direct requests are far more likely to be met than hints or complaints. "I need help with this" is more effective than "you never help me." "I'd love to spend time together" works better than "you're always busy." Clear communication isn't demanding, it's respectful. It gives others the information they need to support you. Emotionally intelligent people know that processing emotions and dwelling on them are different things. Processing involves feeling the emotion, understanding its message, and integrating the experience. Dwelling involves repetitively focusing on negative feelings without movement toward resolution. The key difference is whether you're moving through or staying stuck. Research shows that healthy emotional processing has a natural arc: acknowledgement, expression, insight, and resolution. If you find yourself in the same emotional place week after week, it might be time to try a different approach. Your emotional intelligence grows when you learn to appreciate the full spectrum of emotions, including difficult ones. Sadness connects you to what matters. Anxiety prepares you for challenges. Anger protects your boundaries. Guilt guides your conscience. Even painful emotions serve purposes. Emotionally intelligent people don't divide emotions into good and bad. They recognize that all emotions are part of the human experience. Research shows that people who accept all their emotions, rather than trying to have only positive ones, actually experience more positive emotions overall. Acceptance creates space. The practice of compassion for yourself and others literally changes your brain structure over time. Neuroscience studies show that regular compassion practice increases gray matter in areas associated with empathy and emotional regulation. It also strengthens the parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes calm and recovery. This isn't just about being nice, it's about fundamentally changing how your brain processes suffering. Every time you respond to pain, yours or others, with kindness rather than judgment, you're building neural pathways. Compassion is a skill, not just a feeling. Emotional intelligence involves understanding that other people cannot meet all your emotional needs. No single person, not even the most loving partner, can be everything to you. Expecting this sets everyone up for failure and disappointment. Emotionally intelligent people distribute their needs across various relationships and practices. They have friends for different aspects of life. They develop internal resources through hobbies and self-care. Research shows that having diverse sources of emotional support predicts better mental health than relying on one person. You can ask for support while taking responsibility for your own fulfillment. The ability to identify and communicate your values guides emotionally intelligent decision-making. When you know what matters most to you, decisions become clearer. Conflicts become more navigable. You can evaluate choices by asking, does this align with my values? This doesn't mean every decision is easy, but it provides a compass. Research in values-based psychology shows that people who live in alignment with their values experience greater life satisfaction and resilience. Your values are your North Star. Emotionally intelligent people understand that healing isn't linear. There will be good days and hard days. You might feel better for weeks and then suddenly struggle again. This doesn't mean you're back at square one. Healing spirals rather than progresses in a straight line. You might revisit the same issues, but at a deeper level of understanding. Research in trauma recovery and grief shows that this non-linear pattern is normal and expected. The hard days don't erase your progress. They're part of the process. Your emotional intelligence increases when you develop the ability to sit with paradox. You can love someone and need distance from them. You can be grateful for your life and still want it to be different. You can feel confident and insecure simultaneously. Life is full of paradoxes, and emotionally intelligent people have learned to hold contradictions without rushing to resolve them. Research shows that this tolerance for paradox, called dialectical thinking, is associated with wisdom and well-being. Reality is more complex than either/or. The practice of setting intentions for how you want to show up emotionally gives you agency in challenging situations. Before a difficult conversation, you might set an intention: I want to stay curious rather than defensive. Before a stressful day, you might intend, I'll respond rather than react. These intentions create a framework that guides your choices. Research in implementation science shows that setting specific intentions dramatically increases the likelihood of following through. You're not controlling the outcome, but you're choosing your approach. Emotional intelligence involves recognizing that your first thought is often conditioned, but your second thought is chosen. You might have an automatic judgmental thought about someone. That's conditioning from past experiences. But then you can choose a second thought. I don't know their whole story. The first thought reveals your patterns. The second thought reveals your character. Studies in cognitive psychology show that this gap between automatic and intentional thinking is where growth happens. You're not responsible for your first thought, but you are responsible for what you do with it. The ability to recognize and interrupt negative thought spirals is a trainable skill. Negative spirals often follow predictable patterns. One anxious thought leads to another, then another, until you're catastrophizing. Emotionally intelligent people learn to recognize the early signs and interrupt the pattern. They might get up and move, call a friend, challenge the thoughts, or practice grounding techniques. Research shows that even a brief interruption can break the cycle. You don't have to ride the spiral all the way down. Emotional intelligence includes understanding that privacy and secrecy are different things. Privacy is healthy boundaries about what you share and with whom. Secrecy is hiding things that create distance or shame. Emotionally intelligent people can distinguish between the two. You don't need to share everything with everyone, but you also don't need to hide fundamental truths about yourself from safe people. Research shows that maintaining secrets takes cognitive and emotional energy, while appropriate privacy protects your well-being. You get to choose what to share, but shame thrives in secrecy. Your emotional intelligence grows when you learn to celebrate small wins rather than waiting for major achievements. The brain's reward system doesn't distinguish between big and small victories. Each acknowledgement of progress releases dopamine and reinforces positive behavior. Emotionally intelligent people celebrate getting out of bed on hard days, having difficult conversations, choosing rest when needed. Research in positive psychology shows that regularly acknowledging small wins increases motivation and resilience. Every step forward deserves recognition, no matter how small it seems. Emotionally intelligent people understand that being right is often less important than being kind. In conflict, you can win the argument and lose the relationship. You can prove your point and damage trust. This doesn't mean abandoning your truth or accepting mistreatment. It means considering whether being right in this moment serves your larger values. Research in relationship psychology shows that prioritizing connection over correctness leads to more satisfying relationships. Sometimes the kindest thing is also the wisest thing. The practice of reframing, looking at situations from different perspectives, is a powerful emotional regulation tool. "This is a disaster" can become "this is a challenge." "They're judging me" might shift to "they seem preoccupied." Reframing doesn't deny reality, but it opens up different emotional responses and possibilities for action. Cognitive behavioral research shows that deliberate reframing reduces anxiety and increases problem-solving ability. The situation hasn't changed, but your relationship to it has. That changes everything. Emotional intelligence involves accepting that some questions don't have answers, and that's okay. Why did this happen? What if I had chosen differently? What does it all mean? Sometimes there are no satisfying answers. Emotionally intelligent people can live with unanswered questions without it consuming them. They can act despite uncertainty. Research shows that the need for cognitive closure, for definitive answers, is associated with higher anxiety. Learning to hold questions lightly is liberating. Not everything needs to be resolved. Your capacity for emotional intelligence expands when you regularly expose yourself to perspectives different from your own. Reading diverse stories, talking with people unlike you, exploring ideas that challenge your assumptions, these experiences build cognitive and emotional flexibility. They weaken the tendency to see the world in rigid categories of right and wrong. Studies show that people who regularly engage with diverse perspectives have higher empathy and better conflict resolution skills. Your worldview can expand without losing your values. Emotional intelligence includes understanding that rushed decisions made in emotional states are often regrettable. Don't make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions is wisdom backed by neuroscience. When you're flooded with emotion, the prefrontal cortex, your decision-making center, is partially offline. Emotionally intelligent people recognize this and delay major decisions when possible. They might say, "Let me sleep on it," or "I'll decide tomorrow." Research shows that even brief delays dramatically improve decision quality. Time creates space for clarity. The ability to offer yourself the same understanding you'd give to someone you love is transformative. Imagine your best friend came to you with your exact struggle. What would you say to them? How would you respond? Now, can you say those same compassionate words to yourself? This practice, called self-compassion reframing, is supported by extensive research showing it reduces self-criticism and increases emotional resilience. You deserve the kindness you so freely give others. Your inner voice can be your ally. Emotional intelligence involves recognizing that your discomfort with someone else's emotions doesn't mean they should stop feeling them. When someone you care about is sad or angry, you might feel compelled to fix it or make it stop. But sometimes people need to feel their feelings. Your discomfort is about you, not about them. Emotionally intelligent people can sit with others' emotions without trying to change them. Research shows that this kind of presence, simply being with someone, is profoundly healing. You don't need to fix everything. The practice of noting your emotional patterns over time reveals valuable information about yourself. Maybe you're always anxious on Sunday evenings. Maybe you get irritable when hungry. Maybe you feel lonely after social media use. Tracking these patterns in a journal or app helps you understand your triggers and needs. Studies show that people who track their emotional patterns gain predictive power over their experiences. They can prepare for difficult times and optimize for good ones. Patterns reveal what random moments conceal. Emotional intelligence includes knowing that you can respect someone's feelings without agreeing with their perspective. I understand you feel hurt doesn't mean I agree I was wrong. You can validate emotion while maintaining boundaries. This distinction allows for genuine connection even in disagreement. Research in conflict mediation shows that emotional validation reduces defensiveness and opens dialogue. You can honor someone's experience while standing firm in your truth. Both things can coexist. Your emotional intelligence grows when you learn to differentiate between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is painful disconnection. Solitude is restorative time alone. The same external circumstance, being alone, creates different experiences based on choice and mindset. Emotionally intelligent people cultivate the ability to enjoy their own company while maintaining meaningful connections. Research shows that people who can embrace solitude have better mental health and more authentic relationships. You can be comfortable with yourself and still value others.
The ability to express appreciation regularly and specifically strengthens all your relationships. Thank you for listening when I needed to talk is more powerful than thanks for everything. Emotionally intelligent people make gratitude specific and timely. They notice and acknowledge others' efforts. Research by the Gottmans shows that relationships thrive at a ratio of 5 positive interactions to every negative one. Specific appreciation is one of the easiest ways to build that positive reserve. People need to know they matter. Emotional intelligence involves understanding that your trauma responses protected you once, even if they no longer serve you now. Hypervigilance kept you safe. People-pleasing prevented conflict. Avoidance reduced pain. These strategies made sense in their original context. Emotionally intelligent people can appreciate past coping mechanisms while recognizing when they've become limiting. You can thank a pattern for its service and let it go. Research in trauma therapy emphasizes this non-judgmental updating of responses. You survived, and now you can thrive. The practice of physically grounding yourself when emotionally overwhelmed actually works. Feel your feet on the floor. Notice 5 things you can see. Touch a textured surface. These aren't just distractions, they activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which calms your body's stress response. Neuroscience research shows that sensory grounding techniques interrupt the fight-flight-freeze response. When your mind is spinning, your body can anchor you. the physical world can steady your emotional one. Emotional intelligence includes recognizing that hope and grief can coexist. You can mourn what was while believing in what could be. You can feel sadness about the past while having optimism about the future. This isn't contradiction, it's the full complexity of human experience. Research shows that people who can hold these apparent opposites simultaneously have better adjustment to loss and change. Your heart is big enough for multiple truths. Your emotional intelligence expands when you learn to ask better questions of yourself. Instead of, "Why am I like this?" try, "What am I feeling right now?" Instead of, "What's wrong with me?" ask, "What do I need?" Better questions lead to better answers. Studies in cognitive therapy show that the quality of self-inquiry dramatically affects emotional outcomes. Curiosity is more productive than criticism. You're not a problem to solve, you're a person to understand. Emotional intelligence involves understanding that people can change, but you can't change them. This paradox is at the heart of many relationship struggles. People have the capacity for growth and change. That capacity must come from within them, not from your efforts to fix or convince them. Emotionally intelligent people focus on their own choices, stay or go, accept or create boundaries, speak or remain silent. Research shows that acceptance of this limitation reduces frustration and increases relationship satisfaction. You can't do someone else's work. The ability to recognize and name cognitive distortions improves emotional clarity. All or nothing thinking, catastrophizing, mind reading, personalization, these are common thinking errors that fuel emotional distress. When you can identify them, you can challenge them. "I'm catastrophizing right now" creates distance from the thought. Studies show that cognitive distortion awareness is one of the most effective components of cognitive behavioral therapy. Your thoughts aren't always accurate, even when they feel true. Emotional intelligence includes knowing that consistency matters more than intensity in relationships. Grand gestures are nice, but they don't build trust. Showing up consistently, keeping small promises, being reliably supportive, these create secure bonds. Research in attachment theory shows that consistency is the foundation of secure relationships. People need to know they can count on you, not just when you're feeling generous or inspired, but regularly. Small acts, repeated over time, build everything. Your emotional intelligence grows when you develop the ability to separate observation from interpretation. "They didn't respond to my text" is observation. "They're mad at me" is interpretation. Emotionally intelligent people practice staying with the facts before jumping to conclusions. They notice when they're adding meaning. Research shows that this separation reduces anxiety and interpersonal conflict. You can acknowledge uncertainty. "I notice they haven't responded, and I'm not sure why." That's honest and accurate. The practice of identifying what you can and cannot control brings immediate relief. You can control your actions, your responses, your effort. You cannot control outcomes, other people, or circumstances. Emotionally intelligent people direct their energy toward what they can influence. Studies show that this focus on controllables reduces anxiety and increases effectiveness. It's liberating to release responsibility for things beyond your power. Your sphere of control is smaller than you think, and that's okay. Emotional intelligence involves understanding that rest is productive, not lazy. Your brain processes experiences during rest. Your nervous system regulates during downtime.
Creativity emerges in spaciousness. Emotionally intelligent people honor their need for recovery. They don't equate worth with constant productivity. Research in occupational psychology shows that adequate rest improves performance, decision-making, and emotional regulation. Rest isn't earned, it's required. You're a human being, not a human doing.
The ability to recognize when you're operating from fear versus love changes your choices. Fear asks, how can I protect myself? Love asks, what serves the highest good? Both are valid, but they lead to different actions. Emotionally intelligent people can identify which energy is driving them and choose consciously. This doesn't mean always choosing love over self-protection. It means choosing with awareness. Research shows that values-based action, acting from love and meaning, increases life satisfaction. You can ask yourself, is this fear or love speaking? Emotional intelligence includes accepting that you'll sometimes be the villain in someone else's story. No matter how kind or careful you are, someone will misunderstand you. Someone will focus on the time you failed them. You can't control others' narratives about you. Emotionally intelligent people make peace with this. They do their best to act with integrity and then release the outcome. Research shows that this acceptance reduces people-pleasing and inauthentic behavior. You can't be everyone's hero. That was never your job.
Your emotional intelligence expands when you practice receiving help and support with grace. Many people are comfortable giving, but uncomfortable receiving. They see needing help as weakness. But emotionally intelligent people understand that interdependence is human. Allowing others to support you honors the relationship and gives them the gift of contributing. Studies show that people who can both give and receive support have stronger, more balanced relationships. Your vulnerability allows others to show up. That's generosity. The practice of befriending your emotions rather than fighting them transforms your relationship with yourself. Instead of go away anxiety, try hello anxiety. What are you trying to protect me from? This shift from adversary to ally changes everything. Emotions become information rather than enemies. Research in acceptance and commitment therapy shows that willingness to experience emotions reduces their intensity and duration. Your feelings aren't attacking you, they're communicating with you. Emotional intelligence involves recognizing that your happiness is your responsibility, not your burden. You're responsible for your well-being, which is empowering. You're not responsible for being happy all the time, which is realistic. The difference matters. Emotionally intelligent people take ownership of their emotional health while accepting that difficult emotions are part of life. Research shows that this balanced view predicts better mental health than either extreme dependence or rigid self-reliance. You're the author of your life, and some chapters are hard to write. The ability to recognize and interrupt people-pleasing patterns protects your authenticity. Automatically saying yes, changing your opinions to match others, suppressing needs to avoid conflict. These patterns feel safe, but create disconnection from yourself. Emotionally intelligent people notice when they're performing instead of being authentic. Research shows that chronic people-pleasing leads to resentment, burnout, and loss of identity. You can be kind and considerate while still honoring your truth. People-pleasing isn't kindness, it's self-abandonment. Emotional intelligence includes understanding that your pace of healing is exactly right for you.
Comparing your progress to others is painful and pointless. Everyone's journey is different. Emotionally intelligent people trust their own timing. They don't rush healing to meet external expectations. Studies show that forced or rushed processing of trauma can actually be re-traumatizing. Your healing unfolds at the pace it needs to. There's no prize for finishing first. You're not behind. The practice of savoring positive experiences amplifies their emotional impact. When something good happens, pause, notice the details, let it sink in. Emotionally intelligent people don't just experience joy, they actively savor it. Research by Barbara Fredrickson shows that savoring positive emotions builds psychological resources and resilience. Your brain's negativity bias means it naturally focuses on problems. Deliberately savoring good moments balances this. Joy, when noticed, expands.
Emotional intelligence involves recognizing that some conflicts aren't meant to be resolved, just managed. Not every disagreement ends in consensus. Some differences are fundamental. Emotionally intelligent people can live with ongoing tension in certain relationships or situations. They develop strategies for managing rather than eliminating conflict. Research shows that trying to force resolution where none is possible creates more distress. Sometimes agreement to disagree is the wisest path. Peace doesn't require sameness. Your emotional intelligence grows when you learn to distinguish between guilt and shame. Guilt says, "I did something bad." Shame says, "I am bad." Guilt can be productive, motivating positive change. Shame is toxic, leading to hiding and self-hatred. Emotionally intelligent people can feel appropriate guilt while resisting shame. They can acknowledge mistakes without globalizing them into identity. Research shows that shame resilience, the ability to move through shame, is essential for growth. You are not your worst moment. The ability to find and create meaning in everyday life builds emotional resilience. Meaning doesn't only come from grand achievements or major events. It's in the small moments, a kind interaction, a beautiful sunset, a task completed with care. Emotionally intelligent people cultivate this awareness. They find significance in ordinary experiences. Studies in positive psychology show that regular meaning-making predicts life satisfaction better than income or status. Your life is made of moments. Each one can matter. Emotional intelligence includes understanding that forgiveness is a process, not a single decision. You might forgive someone today and feel angry again tomorrow. That's normal. Forgiveness often happens in layers as you discover new aspects of how you were affected. Emotionally intelligent people don't expect themselves to forgive once and be done. They allow the process to unfold naturally. Research shows that genuine forgiveness takes time and can't be rushed. Each step toward release counts, even the small ones. Your emotional intelligence expands when you develop the capacity to hold hope without attachment to specific outcomes. Hope that things can improve is different from demanding they improve in a particular way. Emotionally intelligent people can remain open to positive possibilities while accepting uncertainty about how things will unfold. This flexible hope is resilient. Research shows that hope, when combined with acceptance, protects against despair better than rigid optimism. You can believe in better while accepting what is. The practice of ending each day with reflection on what went well builds optimism over time. Before sleep, identify 3 things that were positive, however small. The coffee was good. Someone smiled at you. You handled a difficulty with grace. This isn't
toxic positivity. It's training your brain to notice the full picture. Studies show that this simple practice significantly increases happiness and decreases depression. Your attention shapes your experience. You can guide it toward balance. Emotional intelligence involves understanding that some relationships teach you what you don't want, and that's valuable too. Not every connection needs to last forever to matter. Some people show you your boundaries through crossing them. Some teach you your values through violating them. Emotionally intelligent people can appreciate these difficult lessons without bitterness. Research shows that meaning-making from painful experiences promotes post-traumatic growth. Every experience, even the hard ones, can contribute to your wisdom. Nothing is wasted. Your emotional intelligence is demonstrated not just in your best moments, but in how you recover from your worst ones. Everyone makes mistakes, loses their temper, acts from fear. Emotional intelligence shows up in the repair. Do you take responsibility? Do you learn? Do you make amends? Do you forgive yourself and try again? Studies show that the ability to recover from setbacks predicts long-term well-being better than the ability to avoid them. You will stumble. How you stand back up is what matters. The journey of developing emotional intelligence is lifelong, and every moment is an opportunity to practice. You're not trying to reach perfection or a finish line. You're cultivating awareness, compassion, and skill that deepen over time. Each interaction, each challenge, each quiet moment alone is a chance to practice. Research shows that emotional intelligence continues to grow throughout life for those who remain committed to growth. You're always beginning again, and that's beautiful. Right now, in this moment, you have everything you need. You've listened to 100 therapeutic facts about emotional intelligence. Some resonated, some didn't. All planted seeds that will grow in their own time. As you drift off to sleep or move forward with your day, carry this knowing. You are capable of understanding your emotions, managing them with wisdom, and connecting with others from a place of authenticity. This capacity lives within you. It has always been there. It will always be there. Thank you for spending this time in reflection and learning. May you be gentle with yourself. May you grow at your own pace. May you trust in your inherent emotional wisdom. Rest well.